for Jennifer Lopez, though she may have gone into it thinking this was going to be a major comeback for her music-wise with the release of her album, 2 movies, and a tour. It has not been the hype that she had probably hoped for. Instead, the hate train has come her way as people online have been calling her out for months now, finding her very out of touch, especially when she is trying to seem relatable. Honestly, I do think that some of the heat was off of her for a little bit of time there because everyone was talking about JoJo Siwa, but now it's sort of back because after the Met Gala, people were talking about JLO all over again. Some were talking about her outfit, just making mentions of her not really switching things up. I did think that she looked really good, but some felt the outfit was nothing new and a look that we've seen from her a million times over the years, so they were over it. But the real conversations were started because people were bringing up things from the past, making jokes, and tying it all to her Met look. Earlier this year, several clips of JLo had gone viral on TikTok. One of the clips was from her documentary called The Greatest Love Story Never Told. The documentary followed her journey in creating her latest album and the musical film that went along with it. In it, there was a scene of her working out and she took her hair out of this messy bun and was trying to say that when she takes her hair out like this and it's all messy, it reminds her of being a little girl running around the Bronx.
I take my hair out like this. It reminds me like when I was 16 in the Bronx, running up and down the block. A crazy little girl who used to be wild and no limits, all dreams.
People took this and ran, making fun of her for trying to say that her messy hair reminded her of the Bronx. And this was earlier in the year, like I said, that this was going around. But these clips of her that have gone viral have been sticking by her. People will not let them go because they just do not feel like JLo is down to earth. And these clips are haunting her right now. That is what is happening. And they are haunting her all the way to the Met Gala because people were bringing them back when joking about how she looked at the Met Gala this week. Someone tweeted out a photo of her outfit saying, "Wearing Schiaparelli with this glam, a choice." And the quote tweet was, "Mind you, her hair is like that because she's been running up and down the Bronx." People have also brought up how much she mentions the block, feeling like she only does it to seem relatable and it's not coming off the way that she probably thinks so. And so when Pop Crave tweeted, "Jennifer Lopez reveals that her dress has around 2.5 million beads," someone said 1 bead for every time she mentioned the block. Another brought up another viral clip of hers saying that she's got a ham and cheese on a roll with the orange drink in the little purse, which was in reference to a clip of the Vogue 73 Questions that she did a while back that resurfaced earlier this year, where she was asked about her bodega order and she said that it was a ham and cheese on a roll and an orange drink, if you know, you know. And nobody online seemed to know what the heck she was actually talking about.
And what was your go-to order at the bodega?
My go-to order at the bodega was ham and cheese on a roll with an orange drink, if you know, you know, and a small bag of chips.
Even Doja Cat recently made fun of JLo for this as she was with a fan and recorded this video on their phone talking about the ham and cheese and the orange drink. And they felt like she was mocking JLo.
It's a whatever, you know what I mean? It's like, it is what it is, and we had an orange drink with a ham and cheese on a roll.
JLo hasn't personally come out to address any of the backlash that she's gotten this year, but sources close to her have started speaking to the press about it all. Recently, someone spoke to Entertainment Tonight saying, "Jen has not been paying attention to any outside hate. She's always had to deal with criticism and knows that she is misunderstood by some. She realizes that will always be the case because she's an artist and there are people who don't get her or know her." Some people have commented that people around Jen are also yes men, and this was very much something that people were pointing out when her documentary was released this year, but the source claimed that when it comes to her husband, Ben Affleck, that is not the case, writing, "Ben is 100% supportive of Jen and keeps it real with her. They both know this is part of the business and remind each other that you can't please everyone. They acknowledge what really matters, lift each other up, and encourage each other's talents and capabilities," the source adds. I don't know about keeping it real with her, like maybe he's telling her what the internet is saying about her, but in terms of keeping it real in terms of the projects that she had going on earlier this year and the tour that she has coming up, definitely wasn't keeping it real with the expectations of how those were about to do, because what everyone was seeing in the documentary was everyone around her hyping it up, saying that this was going to be the next big thing, and well, here we are. It did not turn out to be the next big thing, and yet she is still here selling these tour tickets for thousands of dollars, even though she's had to cancel tour dates because they were not selling. So I don't think anyone around her is necessarily trying to humble her down, but the internet is sure trying to give it a shot, that is for sure. Speaking of her tour, though, she didn't seem the most thrilled about it when she was asked about it on Good Morning America recently. She talked about wishing that she actually had the summer off, but that it'll be nice to see the fans.
Also about to head out on tour.
I
So
know.
exciting.
Summertime tour. I know.
You obviously do not need sleep.
I do. I wish I could have had the summer off. But we're gonna do it's a small tour. It's like 28 shows. I'm excited about
That's
it.
it? That's a small one?
That's a small tour.
Yes, it is. Believe it or not, it is a small tour. So I'm going to, hit a few cities, and I'm excited. I haven't been out for years. I think since 2019.
The less than thrilled spirit probably has to do with the fact that people haven't been rushing to purchase tickets for her show, and I can't imagine that you'd be like the most excited to perform all of this for an empty-ish arena, since a lot of the seats are still left unpurchased. But in an effort to try and drive the ticket sales, last month her team decided to try and rebrand the tour by saying it was going to be a greatest hits show. Originally, the tour was called This Is Me Now, but it's now being advertised as This Is Me Live, the greatest hits. Certainly in an effort to attract those who may be interested in hearing some of her older songs rather than the newer ones like they had been promoting. And maybe this has a lot to do with her not seeming the most excited because she was really passionate about this new album that she had just come out with, and it obviously didn't hit the way that she wanted it to and had also expected it to, and so now she's going to have to perform some of her hits, which I'm sure a few of them were already on the set list, but maybe not as many as there might have to be now that they're advertising it this way. Or who knows, you might get there and it might not be the greatest hits. She might be considering her new album the greatest hits. You just never know, because there was an article published by Variety where they were kind of clocking the fact that only some places were advertising this greatest hits show, but not every tour location was kind of being changed. Variety wrote, Live Nation's site hasn't been updated to reflect the tour's name change, but it does have conflicting titles on Lopez's listings, including This Is Me Live and This Is Me Now the Tour. While some venues hosting Lopez's performances haven't changed the original listings on their respective sites, there are a few instances confirming the rebrand for shows at Palm Springs Acrisure Arena and Inglewood's The Forum. A sponsored Facebook ad from Lopez also features a graphic with the new title. And honestly, this rebrand of the tour is quite hard to find. Aside from articles that have been written, there hasn't been too much promotion put out there, which seems weird. I mean, if you're going to rebrand the tour in an effort to raise the ticket sales, you would think that you'd be like really pumping it out there. Even on her website right now, it isn't saying greatest hits, it just says live, This Is Me Now. You would think, at least on her website, they would be pumping out that she is about to go on this greatest hits tour, really trying to Eras tour herself, but maybe her team thought that just letting the press know would be good enough, but clearly it's not, because not everyone is seeing this, and if not everyone is seeing it, then not everyone is going to be like reevaluating if they should buy tickets or not. The tour is starting up next month in Orlando, so I guess we will just have to see what happens when she finally hits the stage, if it looks a little bit more filled out, what the set list is going to be, is she doing the hits? I'm sure she's going to put on a show. Like, the thing about JLO is she does put on a show when she hits the stage. Obviously, there's a lot of controversy about who's the one singing, but in terms of dancing and putting on a full production, I'm sure she's going to give people that bought tickets a good show. And there are people who are excited to see her. As much backlash and hate as there has been online, there are comments from people who have said that they bought tickets and are ready for the show. But until then, I'm sure she's just hoping that JoJo Siwa continues to get into some more bad girl drama to keep the eyes off of her, since that seemed to be the only time she was getting a break from the backlash this year. But that is what is currently being said about JLO, from the Met Gala conversations to Doja Cat poking some fun at her, which I honestly still can't believe that Doja Cat even chimed in on this a little bit. I mean, she is like a pretty online person, but still, I cannot believe that she kind of like took a dig at JLO. So let me know what you think about that. Also, JLO just doing this whole tour rebrand, what do you guys think about this whole thing and the fact that it's not really being advertised everywhere? Like, she's only like sort of done the rebrand, switched out like a couple Facebook ads. I want to know what you guys think about all of this. Let me know all of your thoughts in the comments. I love you guys so much, and I will talk to you in the next video. Bye, guys.